Hello world of YouTube and welcome to my Metallica Discography review update. In this video I'm going to be reviewing the new Lou Reed Metallica collaboration Lulu, which came out earlier this month. This review has been highly anticipated by a lot of you guys, and I know you guys really want to know my opinion on this album. But before I start, if you have not seen my 3-part Metallica Discography review, click the door fedora. It is a magical fedora. It is a spectacular being. It's amazing that it's even on this earth, and that will take you to part 1 of my discography review. The 80s. Now, without further ado, let's get this shit started. Now, this album has received a lot of negative criticism, and I can see why. The biggest problem I have with this album is Lou Reed. The instrumentation doesn't even bother me. The instrumentation's actually very good, even though it's not really Metallica. It's actually very good. There's a couple of moments that seem fairly Metallica-esque, like Dragon, the riff of that, and Pumping Blood. Both seem like Metallica fast or like very streamlined Metallica riffs. But a majority of the album doesn't even really sound like a Metallica album. It just kind of seems like Metallica writing music for something that isn't theirs. Some of it is very just droning and kind of drags on, like on the longer tracks, especially Junior Dad. There's a string section in the end when Lou Reed's done doing his whole rambling thing, and that sounds beautiful. But after about 4 or 5 minutes of that, it gets kind of just droning and annoying. Same on the tracks Frustration and a little bit on Dragon. There's a lot of repetition on a lot of these songs. That's the reason why I don't like the song The View, because it's just a fairly repetitive song that I find very annoying. The solos on this album are just bizarre. There's 2 of them on Dragon that are just really out there. I mean, you would think that with the style that the instrumentation is on that, you'd get these shredding solos, but you don't really get that. And it feels very non-cohesive to me, those moments like that, and actually a lot of this album just kind of seems very uncohesive. Like, Cheat on Me starts off with this great kind of atmospheric opening, then just fades into this random riff that doesn't really fit the song from the beginning standpoint, and I mean, a lot of the album is like that. It'll start off with a great intro that'll fade into just Metallica, and then just this other set of instrumentation that sounds vaguely Metallica-esque. Really, the standout track to me, or the 2 standout tracks to me, are the opening Brandenburg Gate and Little Dog. Little Dog is actually my favorite song on the album. Brandenburg Gate threw me through a loop the first time I heard it. It was weird. It was kind of country-tinged. It opens with the Lou Reed talking about cutting off arms and tits, and I mean, while the lyrics in the whole album are weird, that's just a weird note to start this album off on. And, you know, anytime James is used on this album, it's fairly repetitively, at least vocally, and on that song, it's kind of annoying when he's just, small town girl, it's just kind of annoying. But Little Dog is, like, the best Lou sounds on the album vocally, and it's just this somber, sad track, and I love it. I love the way that song is composed, and I love the way that it's done. It's definitely the standout in the fact that it's the most minimal track on the album, it feels like, and it's the best. I mean, it kind of shows that, like, you don't have to put all of this grandiose, weird drone strings and fast pace into a song to make it sound amazing. That song just sounds phenomenal, the way it is. And, I mean, aside from Iced Honey, which is a fairly forgettable song, the rest of it is a interesting piece of work. I'm not really a fan of it. I'm kind of along with the masses that just don't like it, even though, you know, Metallica, favorite band, love them. I kind of have that mindset of Metallica should be themselves. By the end of this album, I found myself liking the non-Metallica elements more than the Metallica elements. Like, in the beginning, I loved Pumping Blood's riff and kind of the instrumentation of The View before it got annoying. But around the time when the song Frustration came in, and definitely by the end of Junior Dad, I started to like the elements that were more non-Metallica-esque, like the strings and the drones and kind of the way that the instruments were played. Like Lars' drums were phenomenal on the track Frustration. Some of those drum fills on there are like the best he's done in a long ass time. So I definitely, this album surprised me overall. I thought it wasn't fantastic. I just thought it wasn't terrible either. Some of it is really bad. Like, Lou Reed brings this album down so much. I've tried to not talk about it until now, just because he's so bad. He's just, God, like, the intro to Cheat on Me is beautiful. It's very atmospheric and phenomenally done, but he ruins it the minute he opens his mouth. He just sounds ratchety, old, like his age really shows on this album, and I definitely do not like his contributions to it. If this was an instrumental album, I think I would actually like this a hell of a lot more than, even if James were to sing on it, because I couldn't picture James singing the lyrics of this album, or at least get a female vocalist so that the lyrics make more sense, since it's about a woman. It's just weird to hear a man sing these lyrics, especially Lou Reed's just ramblings. Do I recommend you pick up this album? Not really. I streamed it to listen to it because it's on the website. It's on their website to stream. I did not want to really get this album because I knew I wasn't going to like it enough to keep going back to it. I don't plan on going back to it. It was kind of a disappointment because I didn't really know what to expect, but I was expecting something better than this. I think that this album is a weird step forward. I don't want to say that I hate it, though. Like, Little Dog, by the point Little Dog came on, I really became entranced with that song, and I fell in love with that song. That's probably the one song I would go back and listen to, is Little Dog. The rest of it, not really. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my review of this album. Hopefully you see where I'm coming from in terms of a review. I know this may not have been what you expected from me, but I really wanted to dig into this album, you know? I wanted to listen to it by more than just a Metallica fan. I wanted to listen to it kind of how I listened to the last Linkin Park record. So, I mean, because I knew it was going to be weird, and after hearing the view, I was like, I'm really going to have to tackle this with an open mind, so I did. Do I say get it? No. But, I mean, yeah, that's just my verdict. Don't get it. It's weird. Meh. You guys have good days, life situations. I will see you another day.